What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Zary, and before we get into the video, I just want to remind everybody, if you're under level 15 and you want $10 worth of free stuff, go to your settings, go to use promo code, and type in XMG Gift. You do that, you'll get $10 worth of free stuff. It helps support the channel. So if you're under level 15, make sure you're using that promo code XMG Gift. Enjoy the video. What is going on, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zary, and we are here to talk a little bleed team tonight. And I've been theory crafting this team, playing around with it, and it is pretty fun. Very RNG dependent on which bleeds stick. T7s would definitely help this comp out, but the people behind me, as you can see, are who's going to be in that team, and I'm going to break down why we're going to have them in their team, and then we're going to take them into a battle just to kind of show you how they work. Now, I've built up enough bleeds to have Revol crit for like something crazy, like 80k, but it took a long time to get there, and a lot of times people die before you can even get to that point. But it is craziness the amount of damage this team can put out. So we're going to start on here with Tubald. We just did the noob series for Tubald, and the T7 on this would be super beneficial. But we're only doing T6, so you can kind of see how it plays. And on his basic attack, the bayonet attack, he consumes 10 charge, and for every 5 charges he consumes, 5% charge consumed, he can put on bleeding for 1 turn at 75% chance. We have the 2 potency tenacity checks here, but you have the ability to put on 2 per. Now, if you took this up to the T7, you're only doing the 1 potency tenacity check, and you could definitely spread around the bleeds way better. The other reason we're putting him on here is for his crushing shot. He puts on daze, and then for every 15% charge, he prolongs the effect of bleeding on the target for 1 turn, so we can push out that bleed even further. Another reason I like Tubald here is because it's reliant on the charge ability, and he feeds himself charge, 20% charged to himself when he uses this. So if you're low, you can give yourself that charge mechanism. So that's pretty solid. With Tubald, what I did here for this build is I just kept him with the damage crit chance, so we can have another damage dealer on the team. His retinue potency is 71%. So pretty happy there. What I looked for in the secondaries was damage, crit chance, potency to make sure those bleeds stick and try to help out there. Next one on the list is Archie and Roe, and we had his noob series today. Starting with his passive ability, the main thing we got to talk about here is if they land a critical hit during their turn, they gain oink. Otherwise, they lose it. If he has oink, he gets 40% potency, which is huge for his build because he just pumps out the bleeds. Here, on his A2, the triple shot, he fires the 3 shots. If he has oink, he inflicts bleeding for 2 turns. So that is just awesome. And that goes at random. And then on his basic, if he has oink, he inflicts bleeding for 2 turns. So really, really solid, can really help you spread out that bleed effect. And what I went for him, I switched up his runes a little bit. I went for potency times 2, and then I just loaded him up with crit chance as much as I possibly could to ensure he's going to get a crit, to try to keep that oink on him. Now, on his third ability, he does give himself a damage increase and a crit damage increase, but not a critical chance increase, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. He has 49% potency, then he'd be giving himself, I think I said 40, but it's 30 at level 6, so we're at almost 80% potency when he has oink, so that's huge. And his crit chance is at 56, so I will take that build for what we have. The next one up is Titania. Now, I put Titania in here because of her taunt. On her taunt, she removes 1 debuff from herself, all allied healers, and mages. Then they gain taunt, cheat death, and counterattack for 2 turns. And then on her basic ability, she gains dodge increase for 1 turn and inflicts bleeding for 2 turns when she lands a critical hit. So we want to make sure we're trying to get her crit chance up as high as possible, and it's hard to do. So on the runes, I went for potency and I went for tenacity. I tried a tenacity crit chance potency set, but she was dying too quick, so I kind of found this to be a little bit more beneficial. Her potency is about 70%, but her crit chance is only at 38%. Now, switching out these two potencies for crit chances, but making sure you hit the potencies on them, isn't bad. Because in the rune sets, we'll be losing 15% potency. So it puts us about 50%, and it's roughly about the same thing we're doing now. So, all in all, not too shabby. But the thought process here is we put up that taunt with Titania. She gets hit. She starts spreading out the bleeds to whoever hit her. So that's why she's there. Then I have Zira. I have Zira in the lead spot. For one, it messes up the AI, so we don't get stuck behind a taunt or anything like that. But she also can inflict bleeding with her Crimson Claws, but it's got a very high cooldown. But the big move here is her Vortex of Pain. When she uses this, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. She has a 60% chance to inflict heal block, but if the target is bleeding, she applies buff immunity. So we got a lot of debuffs that we could put on, and that'll just help the survivability of the team. So she can inflict the bleeding, but she benefits from bleeding in other people's move kits. So, and then on her basic, she just does the damage increase to herself. Nothing real crazy there, but she's like a quasi damage dealer to put out those pesky debuffs. And then the star of this team is Reval. Now, Reval here on his basic inflicts bleeding for 2 turns, so he's going to be using it quite often. And then he has this move, the Eviscerate. Very long cooldown though. That's, if they give him a T7, I hope they decrease the cooldown by 1 or something like that. But he deals 400 physical damage, and then if the target is bleeding, he recovers 75% turn meter. So you can come in, crank that on them, and then pretty much go again. But then his passive ability, he deals 20% more damage for each stack of bleeding on the enemies. At times, I've had 10 to 15 stacks of bleeding up. On average, it's about 7. So we're looking at like 140% more damage to Reval. So, you come in with that Eviscerate, and you can really do some damage, because that would bring it up to like a 540 on the Eviscerate. So, or you have his AoE ability, which is only 240. And I really wish they'd add something to this to increase the damage for bleed or something like that. But, even with the 240 on an AoE, if you have 7 bleeds out there, it's another 140. You're looking at 380 damage on an AoE. Pretty solid, so we're going to play around with that. But Reval, definitely crucial. I did try putting him in the lead, but I do like the Zera lead. I put him in the lead and put in like a Hard Orc, but Hard Orc just dies too fast to really help with that bleed situation. So this is the team I came up with, so let's jump into a battle and I'll show you guys how it works. Alright, so here we go. We are just going to start spreading the bleed around now. There is no bleed here, but we're going to put up the heal immunity just to get it up. Now we're going to go after Foul. He crit there, so now he has the oink, so we set up that move. Now, Tubald needs charge to inflict bleed, so we're going to start with that move. Put on a bleed from Reval. Get our taunt up with Titania. And that's why I like the Zera lead, because we didn't get stuck behind any tank or anything like that. We're going to go for the 3 attack here and hopefully get a bleed out of it. Okay, we got a bleed. Now we're going to, we have Oink up here on Archie and Rose, so we're going to go for the 3 attack and try to spread out that bleed. So we put out 2 bleeds. Yeah, it doesn't look like Ember has one here. So now we have the charge. So now we can come through with the bayonet attack and hopefully get some more bleeds. Got 1 out of it. So right now we have 5 bleeds on the battlefield. Let's try to get one on Ember here. Got a bleed on Ember. We're just gonna go after Ember. See if we can get another bleed on the basic. Didn't crit. Okay, so we have no charge. So we're just gonna do a basic. Oh, killed him. See if we can get up another bleed here on Kinley. Alright, so now we have 3, 4, 5 bleeds. So we get 100% more damage. Let's take it down to 1. And we're just going to do the AoE. That'll bring it to 340. Moving on to the next one. So let's put up that heal block. Gonna try to get a bleed here. We didn't have oink, but we got the crit, so we got oink. Now we have charge. So let's go to Kinley, stack up bleed. Let's go back here to foul, see if we can put on a bleed. Beautiful. Patriarchy, bleed. Okay, so we're up to 3 bleeds. Now let's just attack Kinley. Now the dodges come in, so this could be a little rough, but... Okay, we got 30 charge, so let's... If we don't get dodged... Got 1 bleed up. Now we're going to go for the 3 hits. Got 2 bleeds out of it. Go for the triple hit. Another bleed. Get our taunt up. Go to Peach. Oh, he's got the taunt. 40 charge. Two bleeds. Go down here. Got 2 bleeds. And we're just going to go for this foul. Help be cleared, so let's try to get another bleed up. Nope. Got the oink, so there's a bleed. Killed them because we had the increased damage. Oh, I should have used my charge there. Just basic him and save the AoE for the last round. Alright, let's get the heal block. Okay, we got 20 charge. We're going to try to put it on Ember. Nada. Another bleed. Let's go to Kinley. Another bleed. Let's go for all 3. Let's go for a Patriarchy. Okay, here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bleeds. So that is an extra 160 damage. And we're going to go for the AoE, 240. We're going to turn it down to 1. Or we did the AoE last time. Let's go for a big boy hit on this Ember here. See what we can get. 32,000 non-crit. Get our taunt up. Okay, so we're back because he got that turn meter move. So we're back now. So now we can counter with the AoE, and we have 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. So here we go. Look at that. Wipes them out. So there you go. You can kind of see how this team plays. We're going to jump into another battle. You can see how Revolve is the main damage dealer, and you can come through with that Eviscerate, get all that turn meter back, and then go after again with the AoE to maintain all that bleed. Now, when I did the massive like 80k crit or something ridiculous like that, it was he was in a crit damage, crit chance set, and I have him in a 2 crit chance and a potency set. Because I wasn't getting the bleed to stick without that potency set as consistent. So that's why I went there. But 32k non-crit, probably would have been looking at about a 50k crit. Either way, it's still crazy. You know, that's just insane. So let's jump into another one, and I'll show you one more. Alright, so here we go. Got a Pride team. We're going to see how much damage we can do against Salvador. Let's get our oink up. Get our charge. Now let's start stacking some bleeds. Get our taunt up. Got a bleed out of that. Let's go for Salvador. 2 bleeds. Go for the AoE. More bleed. Gonna try to get blowers, some bleeds back there, 2 more. Let's give this Revolve some bleeds. Let's try to build up those bleeds as much as we can. Let's go to this Keggy. So try not to kill him. Alright, another bleed. Another bleed. Now we gotta go. Revolve's gotta go here pretty soon. Let's try to put a bleed up over here. Okay, so we have 2, 5, 9, 12, 15. Now let's see what this eviscerate is gonna do. Let's go for this Revolve since he has the most health. We're gonna turn it down to 1. 77,000. Just killed off Boris. And now his bleeds are gonna have 6 here, but let's go for it anyways. 30,000. So you saw how I almost hit that 80, over that 80k crit. Insane. So let's go after Renara here. We have no oink, so we're not gonna put bleed on. But we got the oink now. Oh, we have charge, so let's go get some bleeds up if we can. We got 1 bleed there. Still got our taunt, but I think we're probably gonna lose it here. Yep. Let's see if we can get that heal reduction. Heal block. Alright, let's go for a bleed on Renara. 2 bleeds we're up to. Okay, no charge, so let's get our charge back up. We have oink, so let's try to split out the bleeds. We got 3 bleeds, 1 on each hit, so that was sweet. Let's try to get a bleed on Hera. Oh, we killed her. That's alright, she didn't have any bleed anyways. Let's get our taunt back up on Titania. We might lose Titania. Let's go here. Killed him, because we had all those bleeds up, because it adds it to his regular damage. Prolongs. We have 20 charge. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Put up 2 bleedings on him. Still got our oink. So that should put up another bleed. Just a basic here. Another bleed. Another bleed. Oh, we lost Titania from the bleeds. Let's get Renara out of here. And let's just use this. 32. Go for that heal. Oh, we had 20. Oops, my bad. Got oink, so let's spread out the bleeds. So we have 3 bleeds. That's only going to raise it by 60. So we're looking at 460. Still 29,000 crit. Get the 75% turn meter back. Two ball's probably going to go down, but you can see, obviously, if I was playing this a little bit better, you would see the representation. We have 3 bleeds still up, so let's see what we can do. Not shabby at all. Take out that Vorian. Go for a crit, keeps our oink up. So there you go. So as you saw, this team can put out some crazy damage. We saw 77k crit from Revolve. We saw how that bleed effect spreads itself out. And what's hard is Revolve still gains all that damage, even though you just want to put on bleed with this basic. That's where Archie and Ro come in. They do a really good job in this bleed team. Kind of like the unsung MVPs because they don't pump out a lot of damage. But you can keep that oink up pretty consistently except for the first move where you're always going to be able to, when you do that triple shot, essentially put a bleed on 3 people. 2 Bald's T7 would be huge to take away one of those potency tenacity checks. That would be really beneficial for his kit and this team. He would be doing more damage, but at the same time, you'd be almost guaranteed to put on 1 or 2 bleeds per attack. And then Zira just gives you that benefit of the heal block, buff immunity. She can add a little bleed, does a little damage, but her leadership just really helps you get everything set up, because the other teams, especially the AI, the other team's going to try to taunt, they're going to try to do all those moves, so essentially they're not attacking you, and it lets you set up that team. It lets Archie and Ro get in that 1 critical hit to begin with. It lets 2 Bald get up his charge. It lets Titania get up her taunt. So, and then it gives you time to start spreading that bleed around. So really like this team. If you try it out, let me know what you think of it. Just some fun theory crafting stuff we do here, much like that regeneration team. So with that being said, if you're just finding me for the first time, you're liking what you're seeing, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, share the videos with your guild mates, like them, so we can get it out there more. We are growing still every single day, and I'm just amazed by it all. So that is it. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.